This is a Unit 2 practice problem help video for the finals review packet. These first two problems, if you color code them, it's so easy. So here we have ZRS. ZRS is that angle. And then we have QRS. QRS is the larger angle. And QRZ is the blue angle. It's really easy to tell here. Blue is equal to red plus green. Ta-da, you're done. Solve for X, plug it in, find what you're supposed to. We have parallel lines here again. So these four angles must be memorized. There's no way around this. These four angles must be memorized. So taking a look here, parallel lines, parallel lines, parallel lines, Aspen parallel lines. Transversal. Alternate interior angles when lines are parallel, congruent. It's alternate interior. Alternate exterior angles, opposite sides of the stir stick outside the lines, also congruent. Corresponding, one's in, one's out, same side, corresponding, also congruent. The only ones that are not congruent are these two, same side interior, also known as consecutive interior. Those add up to 180. So you simply determine which angle is in play here. And if you sweep these, for example, you can tell that they are alternate interior angles. Therefore, angle equals angle. Use that to solve for X, as well as find your bold angle. Find the other endpoint when you're given an endpoint and a midpoint. So the best way is to actually visualize this. So I'm going to visualize it. I have a segment. My first endpoint here is -9, +1. So I'm doing a little quick sketch. XY, -9, +1 is right there. And then we have a segment, and the midpoint of that segment is -3, +8. So 1, 2, 3, +8. Well, let's say it's up here somewhere. -3, +8. And that's a midpoint, which means if we kind of do a little quick sketch here, we have another endpoint up here, a mystery endpoint that I'm just going to call X and Y. And what's true is that the distance from here to here is the same as here to here because this is a midpoint. So knowing the key quality that wherever that midpoint is, the segments on either side have to be equal distance. You work it. You ask yourself, what is the distance between -9 and -3? And the distance there is 6 units. Then -3 and mystery X must also be 6 units. And I know I'm going to be in a positive number, so it's -3 plus 6. So I know my X coordinate is going to be +3 here, +3. You go through the same process for the Y. Same process. I have a 1, and I am traveling to 8. I find my units between each of these, and then I figure out what that Y coordinate is, following the same process. Find the distance. Your distance template looks like this. Distance. Get your coordinates. This is going to be 4, -2. And this one is -2, 0. You plunk in X to X here. You plunk in Y to Y here. Remember, you must go the same direction for both. And whatever you get square root, you must make sure you simplify. Graphing. This one, I'm going to add 5 to both sides, and I get y equals 5. To graph that, that is all the points where y is 5. So you graph a bunch of points, something, comma, 5. And you will see that it's going to be a straight line. (14). Your goal is to get y by itself. So remember, what you're shooting for is y equals mx plus b. So taking a look here, I'm going to take that 10y over to the other side. The opposite of negative 10y is positive 10y. So I'm going to get 10y equals negative 4x minus 30. I'm going to get rid of that 10. I have y equals negative 4 over 10x minus 3. And of course, you want to get to that to the lowest simplified ratio, y equals negative 2/5 x minus 3. So we go right here. Negative 3 is our starting point. I know it is a downward tilting line. So down 2 over 5, up 2 over 5, and there we are. Says here, we want to write the slope-intercept form equation of a line through the given points. Slope-intercept means y equals mx plus b. So for this, we only need 2 things. Ultimately, we need a slope and we need a b. So I'm going to start by finding the slope. Y minus y over x minus x. Going left to right, left to right. So right there, I know my slope is going to be 6 over 1. Now, how do I get to y equals mx plus b? Because I have a point, I'm going to use the point slope equation of a line. Which point do I use? It doesn't matter. You can use either point. So I'm going to use my first point here, and that 2 is going to go right here. That negative 4 goes right here, and this slope goes right there. You pull the items down, and so 2 goes here. Notice I'm drawing arrows. That helps your brain put things in the right place. Down the equation around it. Double negative makes a positive. I'm going to distribute. So I end up with y plus 4 equals 6x minus 12. You're going to finish that and get that to y equals mx plus b. We want to write the slope-intercept equation of the line that's described. And I'm going to 18 is going to go through this point, 0, negative 1, and it's going to be parallel to this line. So right off the bat, if it's parallel, same tilt, same slope. So I know my slope must be -3/2 here. I have a point. So to get this, I'm going to do point slope equation of a line. Y minus y1, slope x minus x1. You plug in your equations. -3/2 goes right here. 0 is our x1. It's going to go right there. -1 goes here. Bring down the equation around. And then you isolate y so that you end up with y equals mx plus b. Number 20. Our line must go through this point and be perpendicular to that line. So step 1 is my perpendicular slope. I ask myself -3 times what? It will end up with -1 because slope times slope equals -1 for perpendicular lines. It is the opposite reciprocal. So my m here is going to be perpendicular slope is +1/3. Y minus y1, slope x minus x1. x1 goes here. y1 goes here. Slope goes there. Bring down your equation around it. Obviously, you're going to distribute the -1/3, bring over the 4, so that you end up with y equals mx plus b.